You know, have you ever had a time in your life where you've messed up? I don't mean messing up um, without knowing, but you mess up knowingly. You just decide to do something that is so wrong, you know, and you do it deliberately. So what happened in my life one time was I had been in missions for a short time, like a year or so, and yeah, and I went back to Zimbabwe. That's where I come from. And when I got there, one day I went to this church, visited the church, and while I was there, I met this man. So this man got interested in me, and I was telling my story of where God had taken me in missions and what had happened. It was, amazing, coming back from overseas and so I met this man and started like chatting with this guy. Eventually, I started going out with this man. But my attraction to this man was not really that he was good looking and, that he had the best body. No, he wasn't. This man was a church going man, declared that he was a Christian, but he could drink like a fish and he smoked and he had such a temper that was like, oh, yeah, if you know someone with a temper, I think you haven't experienced that guy. He had a temper, he could be so rude, he could be, and so I met with this guy. But the point in my life where I was at, I was tired of being in missions. I was, like in I had to believe God for everything. I had to rely on God. God hadn't let me down, but I felt like I wanted more. I'd come to a place in my life where I wanted a man to look after me, to wake up and you decide, I want cereal and you get it. Oh, I want this, and you get it. I'm someone who loves dressing up. I love looking nice. Um, and it's not that I spend money on clothes because I always get hand-me-downs, but God is so good. I get very good hand-me-downs, and and I love to look smart all the time. So I was at that place, and I'm like, wow, I just believe in God. If I need toothpaste, oh God, please provide, and all this. So I meet this man. He's rich, and I'm thinking, wow, this is life. And I start going out with this guy, and eventually, within a short time, he has convinced me. I've moved in with him. But you know what is happening is, in my heart, I'm not settled. But though I'm not settled in knowing the truth, I still choose to live with this man. And I'm like, I want this. I didn't have to worry about food. I didn't have to worry about, anything. He had servants to do it for me. It wasn't like it was something new to me because growing up, my dad could provide everything. We always had people to clean for us, to do our laundry and all that. We had more than enough. My dad was a businessman growing up. And in those days, I mean, it was amazing for a black man to have that kind of wealth. And so it was something I grew up with. But then I lost my dad and our relationship, whatever went wrong. And then, I had to start working and look after myself. Then I had children. But the thing is, when I met this guy, I was that longing, okay, I want somebody, just to be responsible for my needs, and so what happened was, as I stayed with this man, my friends would call me, Gertrude, what are you doing? Stop it. You have to leave that guy. What has gotten into you? And even another friend even called me and she insulted me. She didn't speak with love, but I could understand the frustration because this is me here who knows God, who has been with God for some time, and I knew the truth. But here I was making a choice of staying with a man that I was not supposed to stay with. And not that he was the best man ever. What I was looking for was for security. And I put that over love, over everything. And so, and my friends started continued praying for me. What's going on with you? You know, and I got to the place where I started also drinking with him and smoking. And you see, the influence he had on me, he had, I was changing to be more like him. And because now he had influence over me, and because my desire was for security, I had to come under him for me to get what I want. And so my desire was to please him, so I had to become more like him. And the thing is, one day I had a dream, and in the dream, God showed me exactly what is going on. But in all that time, as my friends prayed for me, I felt like God never let me go. He kept holding me like by the scruff of the neck. I just felt this presence right at my back, like God kept holding me and saying, I'm not letting go. And then what happened one day is I prayed suddenly because I started to realize, what am I doing? What's going on with me? And I knelt down. I knelt down and I said, God, please get me out. Please get me out. On my own, it's hard for me because all I'm looking at, Lord, is I don't know if I can make it without this guy. I really, really need your help. Get me out, Lord. And you know what? That night, there was such warfare. I cannot explain what happened, but there was such warfare. It was intense. And there was this battle going on, and I could feel it. It was tense. Even the dogs were restless, was barking, and the dogs were fighting, and there was this battle going on for my life. I felt like God pulled me out where I had been held down, you know, and it was so hard for me to get up, but God had to pull me by force, and He pulled me out when I called for help, and I said, God, take me out. And He did. I promise you that night was the end of everything. I left that guy, and until today, you've never spoken to him again because God shut the door, and He shut it for good. But when I came out of that, I struggled. I really struggled. I struggled because now I felt so guilty. Now I had such regret for my sin. So I'll stop here and then continue in the next video.